In today's lesson, we're going to have a look at calculating with powers and roots. A power tells you how many of a number you should multiply together. You can tell this by the little number that appears at the end of your calculation. So, in our first example, we're asked to calculate 11 squared. We have a little 2 at the end, so that means that we have two 11s which are being multiplied together. 11 times 11 I know is 121, so that's my answer. In my second example, I'm asked to work out 4 cubed. The number at the end is a little 3, so that means that we have 3 4s all being multiplied together. We can do this one in stages, so we can say 4 times 4 is 16, and then 16 times 4 gives us an answer of 64. Lastly, we have 2 to the power of 5. The little 5 at the end means that we have 5 2s which are all getting multiplied together. Again, doing this in stages, we get 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, and 16 times 2 is 32. That's our final answer. We also need to be able to calculate with roots. A root reverses a power calculation to tell you what the original value was. If, like our first example, there isn't a number on the outside, you can assume that it means square root. So we're asked to work out the square root of 81. That means what number, when we square it, gives us an answer of 81. Well, I know that 9 squared is equal to 81, therefore the square root of 81 must be 9. That's the original value before I squared it to get my answer. In my second example, I'm asked to work out the cube root of 125. That's because there's a little 3 on the outside of my root. That means what number, when I cube it, gives me 125. Now again, I know that 5 cubed is 125. That means that the cube root of 125 will take us back to the answer of 5. Lastly, I'm asked to work out the 6th root of 64. That means what number to the power of 6 gives me 64 as the answer. I know that 2 to the power of 6 is 64, and therefore reversing that tells me the original value was 2, and that's therefore my answer. So, your first task for today is to log into MyMaths and complete the higher powers homework that's been set for you. Remember that the initial login is the school login, which is Uppingham and Acute. If you forgot your portal details, I've attached them to show my homework in the resources to help you section. You should aim to get at least 70% on this task. It's really important that you have a good fluency of both powers and roots before you move on to the final part of the task for today. If you've already completed the task and it's disappeared from your homework list but you wish to retry it, you can find it again in the results tab, which is on the left hand side once you've logged into your portal. Please pause the video now and have a go at this task. Once you're happy with your score, you can resume the video for your next set of instructions. The next part of this video looks at calculating with powers. In this first example, we're asked to calculate 7 squared take away 3 squared, so we can do this in stages. Using our order of operations, I know that I need to work out these powers first. So 7 squared means 7 times 7, which is 49. 3 squared means 3 times 3, which is 9. So I need to work out 49 take away 9, which I know is 40. In my second example, I'm asked to work out 3 to the power of 4 added to 5 cubed. Again, I need to do my powers first. So 3 to the power of 4 means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. That's 81. And I want to add to that 5 cubed. That's 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. Again, I know that adding these together gives me an answer of 206. In my last example, I'm asked to work out 4 cubed divided by 2 to the power of 5. Again, I know that 4 cubed means 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64, and I want to divide that by 2 to the power of 5. That's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 32. 64 divided by 32 gives me an answer of 2. So at this point, I want you to complete the following calculations with powers sheet that's attached to Show My Homework. There are spaces underneath each question for you to write down the power calculation and then the resulting answer. Once you've done this, you can check your answers against those that are attached on Show My Homework in the Resources to Help You section. Please pause the video now, and once you've completed this worksheet and checked your answers and you're happy that you're ready to move on, you can unpause the video for the final part of the lesson. So, the final part of today's lesson is looking at calculations with the roots. As with before, roots are considered on the same level as powers, and therefore in each of these calculations I'm going to have to do them first. So in my first example, I have the square root of 49 added to the square root of 121. I know that 49 is the same as 7 squared, and I know that 121 is the same as 11 squared. Therefore, I want to work out 7 plus 11. That is 18. In my second example, I'm asked to work out the cube root of 125 times by the 4th root of 81. I know that 5 cubed is 125, and I also know that 3 to the power of 4 is 81. So what I need to work out is 5 times 3, which is 15. In my final example, I'm asked to work out the square root of 36 divided by the 5th root of 32. I know that 6 squared is 36, and I know that the 5th root of 32 is going to be 2, because 2 to the power of 5 gives me 32. Therefore 6 divided by 2 gives me my final answer, which is 3. So your final task is to complete this calculations with roots worksheet, which is attached to Show My Homework. As with before, there's spaces underneath each calculation for you to work out the individual roots, what calculation you need to do, and therefore your answer. Once you've completed the sheet, you can check your answers against those which are attached to Show My Homework. When you're happy with your work for today, please take a photo of it and upload it to Show My Homework so I can see how you've got on. If you are struggling to complete some of the work from today's lesson, then please do not hesitate to get in touch via comment on Show My Homework. I'll try to make myself as available as possible and get a reply to you as quickly as I can. If the issue requires a little bit more input from myself, I might ask to arrange a time to meet on Teams where I can give you some personalised help with that specific problem.